All right, let's go over all the problems for Chapter 3, Test B. Let's pretend your name is Joe Student. And let's go over this, all right? We'll see how easy this is. Hopefully you think it's easy at the end. First question, what's the ratio of birds to dogs? Okay, whenever I see a ratio problem, if I can write on that paper, I underline the two things that they're having, that you are comparing in that ratio, and I circle the word to. It's important to not get them confused. Sometimes it'll be birds to all animals, sometimes it's dogs to birds. I write that so I get an order, then I just go count. How many birds are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It looks like there's 6 birds. I write the number 6 on top. How many dogs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So there are ratio of birds to dogs is 6 to 13. You can write with the word to. You can write with a colon, and you would read it 6 to 13, and you can write it with the first number you're comparing over the second number, like a fraction, but you would still read it 6 to 13. All done. Number 2, tape diagram to represent the ratio of monthly allowance to your friend's allowance and your allowance. Okay, your monthly allowance to your friend. So you, and the ratio says there's a tape diagram. So I'm going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You get 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the ratio must be 7 to 5. 7 to 5, right? Now, it tells us that the monthly allowance total, that's all these allowances together, makes $84. $84, and there are 7 here and 5 with your friend. That's a total of 7 plus 5, or 12 boxes in our tape diagram. That adds to a total of 84, so I'm going to divide 84 by 12, and when you do that, you get 7, perfect fit. So each of these boxes is a 7. You don't have to write the 7 in all those, but of all numbers besides 1, 7 is probably the easiest. So I'll write it all in. And you have 7 groups of 7, and 7 times 7 is 49. So you must be getting $49. Your friend has 5 groups of 7. 5 times 7 is 35. Your friend is getting $35. All right? All right, number 3. Recipe uses 4 parts milk for every 3 parts flour. Complete the ratio table. And they have the milk to flour is 4 to 3. Now, if I go from 4 cups of milk to 8 cups of milk, I doubled it. I multiplied by 2. So I'm going to multiply the flour by 2 to keep the same ratio. 4/3 is the same as 8/6. 4 to 3 is the same as 8 to 6. Now, from here I went from flour, I went 3 cups, and I multiplied it by 3 to get this 9. So I'm going to go 4 times 3 to get 12. And here I did 4 times 4 to get to 16, or 8 times 2. So I'm going to go 3 times 4 to get 12, or 6 times 2. Same thing. Okay? Got that? So now they're just asking a question about the table you filled out. If you did this correctly, this is easy. Actually, if you did it incorrectly, it's easy still. You're going to get it wrong, though. You get it wrong twice, right? 16 cups of milk is 12 cups of flour. All right, on to number 4. Meal A has 170 calories in 3 servings. Meal B has 160 calories in 4 servings. Which meal has more calories per serving? Okay, so per serving, I think they're kind of trying to lead you to get a unit rate to compare, but I'm gonna start doing that, but I'm also going to show you a shortcut on this if you just sort of recognize something and use your logic, right? Meal A is 170 for 3 servings, so if I want a unit rate, I'm dividing that 3 into 170. Okay, 3 goes into 17 5 times, because that is 15. 5 times 3. Bring down the next number, and it goes into this 6 times. And so right now I know it's a little bit more than 56 calories per serving for A. B is 160 calories for 4 servings. And when I divide that 4 into 160, this is a perfect fit. If I would have kept dividing that, I would have ended up with a repeating decimal. This is only 40 calories per serving. That's more than 56. So meal A is your answer. But let me show you something real quick. There's more calories per serving. So if you compare the A and B, you have 170 calories, which is more calories, and only 3 servings, which is fewer servings. So really, you can just use some logic here and say, wait, there's more calories and less servings. There's no way this is going to be more. All right? So kind of cool way to see them both. Okay. All right, represent the relationship in a graph. I have time in minutes. I'm going to put time and minutes here. Don't forget to label your axes and include the units. This is distance, and this is miles, right? We want to know it's not feet, it's not inches, right? And for my graph here, for the time, I'm going all the way to 16. So I'm going to go ahead and just have this be 16, have half of it be 8, half of the 8 be 4, and 4 plus 8 is 12. For the miles, I have 8. I'm going to go ahead and use my whole graph, right? So that's 4 miles. So half of that's 2 miles, and halfway between 4 and 8 is 6. And then I'm going to go over 4 minutes and realize I went 2 miles, 8 minutes, and go up to 4 miles. I'm going to go 12 minutes and go up to 6 miles, and 16 minutes go up to 8 miles. And guess what? You can combine those and assume that they went the same miles per hour. It was consistent. Not always, but that's what we're going to do on that graph. Okay? Got it? All right. A meal has 408 calories and 8 servings. Find the unit rate. So I have a ratio of 408 calories in 8 servings. Remember, the unit rate is going to be serving. The second number is going to be a single unit, not units, multiple units, right? So all I'm doing here is I'm going to divide the bottom into the top. How many times does 8 go into 408? Well, 8 goes into 45 times. 8 times 5 is 40. After I subtract, what do? Bring down that number. And 8 goes into 8 one time. All right? So this is this ratio of 408 calories for every 8 servings. If I only ate 1 serving, it is 51 calories. And when you give a unit rate, you can say per that second thing. Okay, per serving. No S at the end, at least on that back end. There is an S on the first end. All right, flip it over. Let's see what we got here. I don't know if you guys recognize this page, but the homework we did a couple nights ago was exactly this page. We changed the numbers a little bit, right? Okay, we gave you this one. There's about 3 meters or 3 feet in every meter. So 16 times 3 is 48. There's actually more, so I would have rounded this to about 50 feet. Sort of going out of order here. And I said that 15 would be extra credit for my class. I don't know if you got it or not. Let's go to number 7, though. You earned $25 washing 5 cars. How much do you earn washing 4 cars? Now, some people set this up. Okay, this is dollars, cars, and they set it up as a table. But you're going to quickly recognize $25 and 5 cars. And you want to know how much you make with 4 cars. Well, what did I do to the 5 to make it a 4? You can divide it by 5/4, which is 1.25, and then divide this by 1.25. But Let's show you a simpler way to do that, because that would be a roadblock for a lot of kids. Okay, you just get a simple single unit rate on this, right? So if I have $25 for 5 cars, I'm going to divide that 5 into 25, and I realize I'm getting $5 for every car. And once you get that unit rate, it's kind of like the Uno wild card, right? You want that wild card because you can put it on anything. Well, unit rate, I can figure out how much I would make for any number of cars. I'm just going to multiply it by the unit rate. So if I wash 4 cars, I'm going to multiply it by 5 times 4 and get 20, which is our answer, right? But I can say how much for 17? Well, you do 17 times 5, $85, right? So it's pretty cool, that unit rate. It's a very valuable thing to have, okay? All right, now I didn't give my kids how many ounces are in a pound, because I went through a big deal about explaining why we have an LB to abbreviate pound. There's no L or B in pound. Well, it comes from the Latin word libra, which is to weigh things. But that's confusing, but it's interesting. Okay, but the cool thing is if I said that LB was not LB, that was a number, what number does that look like? It looks closest to 16. So you know that 1 pound is 16 ounces. It helps you remember that. Pretty cool, huh? So 6 pounds is going to be 6 times 16. And you can do it over here, but some of you already know it is 96 ounces. Okay? This, remember, if you write out a kilo, right, and then a hecta and deca, and then your meter, and then a decimeter, and a centimeter, and a millimeter, okay, and you can convert any of these, because if I'm going from millimeter to centimeter, I'm going from here to here, that's 1 spot. I move the decimal 1 spot that way. Okay. Hopefully you're starting to realize that every centimeter is 10 millimeters. All right, so I'm going to divide that by 10 or move the decimal. That's 50 millimeters is 5 centimeters. 11. You and your friend complete a video game levels at the same rate. You complete 5 levels in I'm doing my math in my head, in 45 hours. Okay, so 5 levels, and we got hours. Okay. So what I did in this, I got a unit rate. All right. 1 level, 5 goes into this, would take 9 hours. So how many levels does your friend complete in 9 hours? Well, it looks like I just got the answer, huh? 9 hours, it's going to take him 1 hour, right? 5 levels, 45. 9, that means you do 1 level every 9 hours. So, boom, we're done. All right, you upload videos to a social media website. The ratio of photos to videos. Photos to video is 20 to 1. I'm going to have my photos on top, videos on the bottom, and that's 20 to 1. You upload 3 videos. How many photos? Well, I went from 1 to 3 by multiplying it by 3. So I'm going to go 20 times 3 here and get 60. 60 photos. Boom. You are traveling in a car. Your speed is 15 miles an hour. What is your speed in feet per minute? Okay. 1 mile is how many feet? 5,280. And this is hour and minute. So sometimes it helps to go just circle all of your units. I got miles, hours, I got feet and minutes. Okay? So the hour and the minute are being compared, and the feet and the miles. So 15 miles equals how many feet? Well, I got to go 15 times 5,280. Okay. 0, 40, carry the 4, 10 and 4 is 14, carry the 1, 5 times 5, 25 plus 1, 26. Put a placeholder, let's cross these out so we don't get confused, and then 1 times this is going to be this. Now I add 79,200 feet, and that was per 15 miles. That was in 1 hour, and this is hour, and I'm going to go times 60 to get the minutes. So in 60 minutes, so I want a unit rate for per minute, no S there, so I have to divide this 60 into that. Okay, so 79,200, and I'm dividing that by 60, and this goes once, 19, it's going to go 3 times, and 2 times, and then that's a perfect fit, but I need that 0. So this is 1,320 feet per minute. That was a tough one. Big numbers, huh? All right. Ratio 3 numbers is 5 to 1 to 8. And the sum of those numbers is 28. Well, let's see. What's 5 plus 1 plus 8? That's 14. So that's half of that. What's going to happen if I double these? That's 5 to 1. That's 10 to 2 to 16. And 10 plus 2 plus 16 is 28. Wow. That's all we got to do. Keep that same ratio. I have to do the same thing to each of these numbers. And the first chance I got, just by multiplying it by the smallest number that's not 1, my numbers are 10, 2, and 16. All right, I told my kids that this one was extra credit, so let's skip that one, go to 16. That way, if you didn't have to do it, it'll be on the end. Okay, 15. The least common multiple of LCM of 2 whole numbers is 40. The ratio of the greater number to the lesser number is 5 to 4. What are the 2 numbers? Well, I think we showed you how to do a problem like this on the homework. And basically we said, what is the least common multiple of 5 and 4? The smallest number. Remember, if the numbers are right next to each other, the least common multiple is just going to be the product of those 2. 5 times 4. If you're looking for the least common multiple of 99 and 100, it's 99 times 100. 255, 256, it's 255 times 256. It's just one of those tricks that works if numbers are 1 apart. So 5 times 4 is 20. And again, the multiples 5, 10, 15, 20, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You can do it like that, but that's the hard way. All right, so I want to keep the same ratio. What do I do? I'm going to double each number. 5 doubled is 10. 4 doubled is 8. What's the least common multiple of 10 and 8? Well, 10, 20, 30, 40. 8 goes into 40. That works. That's all you had to do. That's why we had you do a harder one on the homework. So hopefully you recognize that. All right, if all you had to do, you didn't have to do 15, you're done here. But if you had to do 15, let's figure it out. Or if you're just interested. All right, hose A fills it 3/4 of the pool in an hour. Okay, so 3/4 per hour. And hose B does 1/2 per hour. So the 2 of those together, 1/2 is the same as 2/4. That means you would have it 5/4 full in 1 hour. That's more than full. I just want to have it full. So I just want this to be 4/4 or 1/2. To get this to this, I have to divide it by 5/4. Okay, so if I'm dividing it by 5/4, I got to divide this one by 5/4, and 1 divided by 5. I'm sorry. The other way of looking at this is multiplying it by 4/5, right? Dividing by one fraction is the same as multiplying it by its reciprocal, right? So 5/4 divided by 5/4 equals 5/4 times 4/5 equals 20/20, which is 1, which is the same as 4/4. So I'm going to do the same thing with the 1. 1 divided by 5/4. I'm going to write this as 1/1, and I'm going to multiply it by 4/5. Got to flip that one, right? Same, multiply, flip. And this would be 1/1. So I get 4/5. So 4/5 of an hour. What does of mean in math? It means times. I'm doing 60 minutes. Divide. 5 goes into the bottom once. It goes into 60 12 times. 4 times 12 on top. 1 times 1 on the bottom. So 48 minutes is your 4/5 of an hour. If you did 4/5 of an hour, we probably gave you that. All right, hopefully that wasn't too hard, wasn't too confusing. And if you're watching this to do a retake, hopefully it all makes sense now.